Well, well, well. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where it felt like your value was overlooked, where your voice was ignored, where your worth was dismissed as insignificant? I know you've been there. We all have. There are moments in life when it feels like the people around us, those we trusted, believed in, or even loved, fail to see us for who we truly are. They take us for granted, underestimate our strength, and push us to the edge. They make us feel small, like we don't matter, and they strip away the respect we deserve. But let me tell you something important today, something that will change your perspective on all that pain and disappointment. They will have no choice but to acknowledge your worth. They won't have any other option. And do you know why? Because your worth isn't dependent on their validation. It never was, and it never will be. Your worth is something that lives inside you, and no one can take it away unless you allow them to. Let's talk about why that's true. The first thing we need to understand is that people who fail to recognize your value are often blinded by their own insecurities. They fear what they don't understand, and they fear what they can't control. Your strength, your resilience, your brilliance, these things scare them. Why? Because people who are insecure about themselves find it hard to deal with others who shine brightly. They will either try to dim your light, make you doubt yourself, or even tear you down in order to feel better about their own inadequacies. But here's the truth they fail to recognize. Their attempt to silence you only makes your light shine brighter. When you stand up for yourself, when you refuse to be treated as anything less than what you deserve, you force them to confront their own weaknesses. They can no longer ignore the truth that you are powerful. And in that moment, they will be forced to acknowledge your worth. The more they try to suppress you, the more you rise. And no matter how much they resist it, they'll eventually have to come face to face with the reality that you are someone who is not easily broken. There's a pivotal moment in every person's journey when they truly realize their own worth. It doesn't come easy, and it often comes only after a long period of struggle, pain, and hardship. Maybe you were overlooked, dismissed, or even betrayed. Maybe you were told you weren't good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. Maybe they made you feel as though you were invisible. But one day, you'll wake up and everything will click. You'll realize that their inability to see your worth was never your problem. It was theirs. You'll understand that your value was never contingent upon their approval. You've been worthy all along. Their words, their actions, their judgment, and their disregard for you mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. Your worth isn't something they can give or take away. It's something that comes from within you. Something you've always had and always will. And when that realization hits, something inside you will shift. You will no longer seek validation from those who failed to see you for who you truly are. You'll stop waiting for them to recognize your value because you'll realize that you don't need them to. And when you stop seeking approval from the people who can't give it to you, you free yourself. You allow yourself to step into your power. And that is the moment that your life changes. One of the most powerful shifts that will take place when you realize your worth is that you will begin to respect yourself in ways you never have before. You will no longer tolerate the disrespect of others. You will no longer stand in environments that drain you where your value isn't recognized. You'll stop putting up with people who treat you like you're less than what you are. Respect for yourself is the foundation upon which everything else is built. When you respect yourself, you teach others how to treat you. You set boundaries, and you stand firm in them. You no longer let people walk all over you, and you don't allow others to disrespect you without consequence. When you begin to respect yourself in this way, the world will begin to respect you in return. Your power lies in your ability to stand tall in the face of adversity, to walk away from situations that no longer serve you, and to maintain your dignity when others try to tear you down. But there's something you need to understand. The road to acknowledging your own worth isn't always easy. There will be days when doubt creeps in. There will be moments when you question your own value, especially when others try to make you feel small. There will be times when you look at yourself in the mirror and wonder if it's all worth it. You'll wonder if you're ever going to be enough. You might even wonder if your worth is tied to what others say about you. But let me tell you this, it's normal to doubt yourself. It's part of the process. But just because doubt enters your mind doesn't mean it should control you. When you feel that doubt, remember this. It's just a temporary feeling. It's not your reality. It's just a test of your inner strength. And you have the power to push through it. You are worthy, and no one can ever take that away from you. Don't let the noise of others drown out the truth you know deep down. You are enough. You always have been. You always will be. There comes a point in every situation when the people who once failed to see your worth will no longer be able to deny it, no matter how much they resist. No matter how many excuses they make for their actions, the truth will eventually come to light. And when it does, they will be forced to acknowledge you in ways they never thought possible. At first, they might try to cling to their old beliefs about you, those false narratives they built on their insecurities. They might try to twist the situation to make themselves seem justified, as if their actions were right, or as if they were the ones who had the power. But no matter how hard they try to deny it, the truth has a way of breaking through the lies. And when the truth finally emerges, it will be undeniable. They will have no choice but to face the reality that they were wrong about you. They will have to come to terms with the fact that you were never the problem. You were always the solution, always the one who was right all along. You were always worthy, strong, and capable, long before they ever realized it. And when this moment comes, when they can no longer ignore or downplay your value, something profound will happen. They will either accept your greatness and come to respect you, or they will continue to shrink in the shadow of your brilliance, realizing that they missed the chance to recognize your worth when they had it. Either way, you will be the one who walks away empowered, because you will have learned the most important lesson of all. Your worth has never been up for negotiation. And no one, no matter how close they are to you or how much influence they have, has the right to determine your value. You have always been enough. And now, they are the ones who have to face the consequences of not seeing it sooner. In the end, they will have no choice but to recognize your worth. You will no longer be a shadow in the background, waiting for their validation or approval. You will no longer allow their lack of acknowledgement to define your identity. Instead, you will stand tall, firm in the knowledge that you are valuable, and that your worth is something that can never be taken away by anyone. When you choose to stand up for yourself, when you choose to walk away from those who try to diminish you, you send a powerful message to the world. The world will see you for who you truly are. Strong, resilient, worthy of love and respect, and deserving of every opportunity that comes your way. And when the people who once took you for granted, who once treated you like you were disposable, finally realize the depth of their mistake, it will be too late. They will have lost the chance to truly appreciate you, and they will have to live with the consequences of their actions. But you will walk away stronger than ever. You will rise above their petty judgments, their attempts to control you, and their failure to recognize the immense value you bring to the table. And in the end, the greatest victory will be yours. Not because they acknowledge your worth, but because you did. You recognized your value long before they ever had the chance to. And that, my friend, is where true power lies. So, hold your head high. Know your worth. Never let anyone, no matter how close they are to you, make you feel like you are anything less than extraordinary. The moment they failed to see you, they lost you, and they will never get you back. The door is closed, and now it's time for you to walk forward into a future that recognizes your brilliance, your strength, and your undeniable worth. Remember this always. You are not waiting for them to realize your worth. They will have no choice but to acknowledge it when you step into your power. And that, my friend, is a force they cannot and will not ignore. Your worth is your birthright, and no one has the power to take it from you. This final expansion adds more emphasis on self-recognition, empowerment, and the consequences others face when they fail to see your worth. It encourages the audience to step into their power and never allow anyone to define them.